Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm sharing my practice session of Doherty's Mazurka, also called Tommy Peoples Mazurka, John Doherty's Mazurka, the Donegal Mazurka. I recently introduced this tune, and I'll stick a link at the top and at the end of this video so that you could access that walkthrough, that introduction, if you haven't done so yet. And I'll also add, as I did in that previous video, a link at the top of the notes to this video so that you could access the page on my website from which to download the music and tabs if you use those. At times I share one of my initial practice sessions where I get to know the core of the tune. Remember, I say learn the core of the tune. Once you know the core of the tune, then start experimenting with learning to play it at pace and learning ornamentation and expression. So I like to share practice sessions at different stages of my own development with learning a tune. And I hope you hear in there that learning a tune is not something that happens in an instant. It's not something that happens in a half hour. You've got to get that tune into your blood. You need to hear other people playing it. You need to play along with other folks. You need to get a feel for how you want to play it. Then you need, after you know the core, you've got to start experimenting with ornamentation and expression. And then you've got to add in some speed if it needs to be played faster, or emotion if it needs to be played more emotionally. So there's a lot to learning a tune. So please never feel like you need to be in a hurry. Take your time and let that tune sink into your blood. So today, I'm at the place where I feel pretty comfortable with the core of the tune. That doesn't mean I'm 100% comfortable. I normally start moving into ornamentation and expression and pace development once I reach the point of, I'm pretty comfortable with the tune. And that's where I am. And that means that I've played it enough that I've experimented and I have some ideas with what I want to do with the ornamentation and expression, but that's where I am, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. Now for this video, and I know that you guys like to hear the different whistles I have, and so I like to share them so that you could get a feel for what they actually sound like. Played by me, that is, not by a professional. So for our time together today, I'm playing the Lir High D, and this is the silver-plated one, and the Lir Low D. And it's not silver-plated. I think, if I'm guessing correctly, I think that's a powder coat. But, so, you'll like both of these, but I've had some questions on both, so, let's let you hear them. So anyway, I'll walk through the tune first on the Lir High D, because sometimes, as we've said before, that's easier for me, and I know for a lot of you, to get your sense of what you want to do with the tune. However, bear in mind that I shouldn't say often. I do find at times that I play a tune differently on the low D than I do on the high D. And you might find that as well. So, one thing about this tune is Doherty's Mazurka is a Mazurka. And so it's in 3/4 time, and it's got, one of the best ways I find to think about it, it's got that swinging 3/4 rhythm to it. Bum ba dum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum. It's almost as though each phrase is a complete set. Bum ba dum ba bum, and then you start the next phrase. Bum ba dum ba bum. And so if you think about it that way, that's helped me to think about them as individuals strung together. See, it sounds like they're just a bunch of stitched together pieces to me. Maybe not to you. So anyway, jumping in to thinking about ornamentation and expression on the Lir High D with Doherty's Mazurka. Expression, it's fun, it's dancey. It's going to take me a little while to feel like I'm playing it fun because I'm learning and experimenting with the ornamentation. So hearing a lot of people play it, wow, there's so many variations out there. Again, you do you. And you figure out how you want to play this fun mazurka. If you're playing with a group, play it like the group. But so you get a lot of emphasis on that the middle of the measure. And so you could do that. And I've been thinking, do I want, like at the start of the tune, do I want to ornament my way into it or ornament in the middle? Like, for example, or do I want to get a little punchier there? Or do I want to start, See, I'm going to play with those things. So I'm going to play kind of that A part and see how I'm feeling. See, in doing that, I felt like, oh, that it should feel swingy, bouncy. And I'm not really sure where I'm going to land on that, but that's kind of where I am at the middle. Now, I've heard some people play it with very similar ornamentation in each phrase. That's not me. That's not my expression. I like the ornamentation to express the same thing in each phrase, but be a little different. So you'll notice that in that first phrase, so I did a cut there, and I kind of bounce tapped on the B, and then sort of a double cut going into that third measure, cut, so I do have some repetition, but I like to mix it up some. Let's see what I'm feeling on the B part. I think my fingers just played the B part in the same phrasing that I used in playing the A part. I'm not real sure about that second measure on each line there. I'm going to experiment with that a little bit more. But I think I've listened to enough folks. When I've listened to enough, I get comfortable with the core of the tune. Then jumping into ornamentation is a little easier. And now on the pace of the tune, I've heard it played. Listen to some button accordions. That's a blast. I've heard it at that pace, and I've heard it. I've heard it at that pace, though I think most of the paces for a swinging, bouncy dance, it's leaning toward that first one. I'm now going to warm up the Lir Low D. This is an all-metal whistle, so it's going to clog if I don't play it. And I played it a little while ago, but I've been gabbing, and we've been playing, and it's chilly today here. And so this needs to be re-warmed up. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I've got the Lir Low D warmed up. You know, when you're warming up all metal whistle, you're gonna do a couple of things. You can blow warm air into it through the tone hole, cover the tone hole through the airway, or you can just sit like I did and play it for a bit. Remember, we did an experiment once, and it probably takes a minute and a half, a couple of minutes to get it fully warmed up. You're going to have to blow spit out. Well, actually, at first, it's not spit that you're getting, it's condensation. And condensation is when the warm air meets the cooler surface of the whistle, and condensation happens. And you just blow it out. You can use like some anti-clogging stuff, and I use that now and then, but sometimes just play the whistle for a couple of minutes and don't worry about it. I got to warm up on it anyway. So I'm going to stand, and I'm thinking of just trying it the same way that I played it on the high D and seeing how that goes. A couple of quick thoughts. You can tell that I'm not 100% comfortable with that yet. I feel like I need to experiment a little bit more. I kind of like that, but I don't feel like I'm accentuating the bounciness enough. So I'm going to experiment with some other approaches, but I don't want to keep you forever. You did notice, and you may do this in practice, that I got a little stumbly a couple of places. That's okay, just keep moving. And sometimes when you ornament, notice as I was going into the B section, is what I was thinking of doing, but I found that I kind of ornamented my way from the G to the A, and I took the G and then sort of turned it into an ornament leading into the A. It's almost as though the G didn't exist, so that I could do something a little bigger there. I don't know. I really need to experiment a bit more. But I wanted to share this with you, my friends. This is where I am at the moment. This is my process. I hope, pulling back the curtains on that helps you see some of the things you could do to help improve your playing as you learn a tune like Donegal's Mazurka. Go grab your whistle, dive into this tune, get comfortable with it, and see how you want to ornament it. But make sure you keep that bum ba dum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum, that flowing, bouncy rhythm of the mazurka. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, my friends.